Valparaiso University, a private Lutheran institution in Porter County, Indiana, has decided to sell millions of dollars worth of paintings from the campus museum to pay for freshman dorm renovations. The paintings in question include Mountain Landscape by Frederick Church, previously valued at $2 million. The Silver Veil in the Golden Gate by Childe Hassam, previously valued at $3.5 million. And finally, Rust Red Hills by the world-famous Georgia O'Keeffe, valued at $15 million. So what's the big deal? Is this wrong? Is this unethical? Well, maybe. But before we can answer those questions, we need some background knowledge. What exactly is deaccessioning?
I'm Jonathan Canning, the director and curator at the Brauer Museum of Art. Deaccessioning in the museum world is the process by which a museum divests itself of art that has been donated, bought, that's technically on the books as in the collection of the museum. Museums hope over time to build their collection, build the quality of the collection. So there are times when it just becomes necessary to weed through what you have. The whole point of deaccessioning is to help refocus, sharpen your collection, improve the quality. The goal is always to end up with a better collection than you had at the beginning.
On February 8th, 2023, President Padilla released an email to the entire Valparaiso University campus. The email discussed new renovation ideas for freshman dorms. The beginning of the email said things like, "This is crucial for both attracting and retaining students. And currently, our first-year residence halls do not reflect the importance we place on the residential learning experience." Everything seemed fine until the email said, "We intend to pay for this initiative through a practice we will use for other parts of the strategic plan. We will consider assets and resources that are not core or critical to our educational mission and strategic plan, and reallocate them to support the plan. In this instance, we intend to pay for the much-needed dorm renovations by using the proceeds from the sale of select paintings from the campus art museum."
Yeah, my name is Sarah Jancy, and I'm an associate professor of art in the Communications and Visual Arts Department. I teach painting, drawing, figure drawing, among other things. Well, I'm in the Communications and Visual Arts Department, so we use the Brauer Museum often. And as a way of teaching, I also was involved in hiring Jonathan Canning, our new museum director, as well as a member of the collections committee, which is part of the Brauer Museum's process of bringing work into the museum. I found out through the grapevine, through friends and people that love the museum. And it was pretty shocking to me, the idea of selling artwork from a museum collection is pretty unheard of, pretty unusual, and pretty sad. So it hit me like a ton of bricks, and been trying to, I guess, educate and get people on board with trying to understand why this is so unusual and unheard of.
My name is Ashley Vernon. I am a digital media arts student at the university, and I also am the director's aide in the Brauer Museum of Art. And pretty much everybody in that class's response was very much so like, why are they doing this? How is this allowed? Like there was anger. There was a lot of anger and confusion. And the more questions I asked, the angrier I got, because there was so much information that was still being hidden even after the announcement, like which 3 paintings were going to be sold and how much they were worth, that sort of thing. So the student response in general has been, how do we combat this? We're at a small university. There's an emphasis on leadership. There's an emphasis on doing something that's right and ethical. And so we really took what we had learned and tried to put it to the test and be like, we are going to be heard on this campus, and we are going to continue doing what we need to do until this is stopped or done.
Richard Damaris, nickname Rick. I am a senior research professor in the Department of Theology. What that means is that I'm officially retired from the university, but I continue to have status as in this case, research professor. Right, it depends on the museum. Most museums, or maybe all art museums, have a deaccession policy. Our museum had no such policy. As far as I know, we have never deaccessioned any art object from the collection. That's an indication to me that there were never any plans to deaccession artwork or to sell artwork from the collection. I guess that the higher administration decided otherwise. That is, since there's no deaccession policy, we don't need to follow such a policy for removing and selling artwork from the collection.
Yes, my name is Matthew Becker, and I'm a professor of theology here at the university. When I heard about this decision to deaccession these 3 paintings, I immediately thought of my colleagues Gretchen Bugelen and Sarah Jancy, because I know that they had to be upset about this. And I was also upset with respect to Mr. Brauer, because Dick Brauer is a friend of mine as well. And I respect him and his work, and I feel like this is kind of a slap in his face. Talked to some people. I was asking, well, who's writing a letter? Who's going to take some action here to get something going? Because I think there's faculty that would want to weigh in on this decision. We were not consulted. We were not a part of the process at all. Even though we use this museum, many of us do, particularly in the arts and sciences, in our instruction. By the end of Super Bowl weekend, pretty much everybody on the faculty and many staff too had seen it. Yeah, it might make good sense to have people sign on to it. So by the end of Super Bowl weekend, we had 94 people.
As you can see, many students and faculty members are strongly against the sale of the art pieces. But if that wasn't enough, various museum associations have written a letter urging the university to not sell the art and to maintain proper museum practices. They even offered to help the university find alternative solutions to avoid selling the paintings. Perhaps one of the most impacted individuals in this entire situation is Dick Brauer, the namesake of the Brauer Museum, longtime university associate, and first ever museum director. In addition to wanting his name removed from the museum if the art is sold, this is how passionate he is.
I'd like it if the governor would ask the Attorney General to take this case and bring it to court and let the court decide what is right. I feel sure the court will say, we will pass an injunction to stop the sale.
Despite all of the protests, global news coverage, and various meetings, the university is proceeding with selling the paintings. You can be a part of history by visiting the Brauer Museum at Valparaiso University and familiarizing yourself with the artisacoresource.com website, where you can sign a petition that has already amassed over 2,300 signatures. In the end, the purpose of this documentary was to show the power of art and how it connects everyone, no matter their discipline. Hopefully, you will realize or soon discover that art is a core resource.